I'm Anil Mall here at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, VRIC 2026, and I'm talking to Dave Watkinson. Dave is the CEO of Ameriwest Critical Metals. Dave, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Dave, why don't we start this interview with a little bit of insight on what's happening globally when it comes to critical metals?
Well, there's certainly a demand that keeps on, seem to grow all the time, right? So we have electric cars that have gone a little slower than expected, but now they're being replaced by data centers and other power centers, solar still. So there's just a demand that keeps on growing, and especially in the U.S., they're trying to advance critical metals and have different incentives for companies as far as permitting and bringing projects into production. So it's a great opportunity for companies.
So Dave, Ameriwest trades on the Canadian Securities Exchange. What is the vision behind this company?
So we're a diversified critical metals explorer. We have properties in the United States and Canada. Our main asset is a high-grade underground copper prospect in Oregon. We have 2 lithium properties. One is in Thompson Valley, a lithium clay property. We have a lithium brine property in Railroad Valley, Nevada. And then we have a rare earths property, yttrium rare earths, that's located in northern British Columbia. So we're looking at taking advantage of multiple opportunities in the critical metal sector.
So the near-term focus is your Bornite Project, which was recently acquired. Talk to us a little bit about this project, the location, and the significance of this.
Sure. It's located in Oregon, about 50 miles east of Salem. It's a project I actually worked on back in the 1990s as a young engineer, so I know a lot about the project. I was involved with the permitting, involved with completion of a feasibility study and an environmental impact report that was done in the 90s. So I worked for a company called Plexus Resources that amalgamated to form Kinross Gold Corporation. Kinross became less interested in advancing copper properties as they became focused on gold. So the property eventually was dropped, and 30 years later now we've picked it up again, are trying to advance it towards production.
So the property comes to you and your team with a lot of historical data. Can you maybe touch on what the importance of having that information is?
Sure. We acquired it with, for instance, the pre-feasibility study that was done in the 1990s, the environmental impact reports, a lot of technical data, including metallurgical test work. But we also acquired the core from the original drilling that was done back in the 1990s and by prior companies going back into the 1970s. So that's very important because we can look at reassaying that core, bringing it current with today's standards, National Instrument 43-101 and CIM standards. So our goal is to try to fast track the project through exploration and permitting and take advantage of what's happening in the U.S. with fast track 41 permitting and other incentives to advance critical metal projects.
Dave, so obviously getting this project that you've worked on back in the 90s with a lot of the historical data definitely makes the company stand out from the peers in the space. What are some of the milestones our viewers, investors, and audience members can look for from you and your team in the coming months?
Yeah, so the data we've acquired is on paper, so we're going to computerize the data, create a new 3-dimensional resource model from the historic data. We'll reassay the existing core that's there, try to come up with a new NI 43-101 compliant resource model as quickly as we can. So we'll probably do a geological technical report. We'll do eventually a resource technical report. We'll do some confirmation drilling in between those two where we maybe drill 10% of the holes that were there historically. There was about 54 holes, roughly 44,000 feet, I believe, of historic drilling that we have the core from. So that's a good starting point for us, and then we'll look at trying to bring it current to modern standards by doing a statistical analysis of sort of the new drilling versus the historic drilling.
So you have the project, you have the historical data that comes along with it. Obviously, you have a team and your expertise from working this project back in the 90s. What is your messaging for investors, and why should they be paying attention to what you and your team are doing, and where can they go to find more information should they be interested?
Well, certainly, in the U.S. there's a big push for critical metals, so that's the advantage the company has that we plan on taking advantage of. Investors should follow the company. You can find us on our website at www.ameriwestcriticalmetals.com. We just brought up a new website, so there'll be a lot of information that's there, and investor presentations that we do, corporate presentations, and just keep following us, because we hope to move quickly and advance the project. And we think there's a lot of low grade copper projects that are available throughout the U.S. and Canada, but there aren't very many projects that have high grade like this. So.
When you say high grade, just to touch on that, can you maybe give us a few examples?
Well, historically, this project had a resource that was over 3% equivalent copper, right? So, we obviously have to redo the resource, but we'd expect it to remain in that range. You're finding a lot of projects today that are these big skarn deposits, even porphyry deposits that are less than 0.5% copper, right? So, but billions of tons, some of them, right? Correct. So we're small tonnage, high grade, but that allows us to potentially advance the project as a smaller company, where some of these big projects sit for many years trying to get developed and financed by major companies.
These are definitely exciting times as we go into 2026, especially in the resource sector. Dave, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me a little bit about Ameriwest and your Bornite project in Salem, Oregon, or just outside Salem, Oregon, I should say. I look forward to talking to you in the next little while as your team moves forward to meet these milestones and provide our viewers with an update.
Great, I look forward to it too.
Thank you.